So hello and welcome to another episode of Good Fat Life Podcast. And here we are in downtown Brighton at the Blues and Jazz Festival. And so there's a lot of noise and a lot of people passing by, but that's kind of part of the fun. And my guest today is Dr. Clark from Hands On Health Chiropractic. And we're going to have a little discussion about chiropractic. And I will say before, we're just meeting.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
And I always like to tell Dr. Rushford, it's like, if I was alone on a desert island and I could only have one person be there, it would be my chiropractor.
There you go.
because
Keep the body moving.
Exactly, because I know when my body's not in alignment, my thinking is foggy, my breaths are hard, it's harder to breathe, and you just feel off.
Well, that's a huge part about chiropractic. It's not just like pain management. It's that if your bones are tied up, if your muscles are super tight, then you're not getting that nerve stimulation to the rest of your body, and so then you aren't functioning as at 100% capacity. So yeah, you need the body to be moving to be functional.
And our natural tendency, if something hurts, then we offset it by, or even if it just doesn't hurt, if it's a little crinky or something, we'll offset it by doing something that we weren't designed to do.
Exactly.
Right?
Or we just it hurts, so I shouldn't move, or I should just sit for days. Well, then things stiffen up, you get tight, and then usually that makes it worse, even though you think that you're making it better in the long run.
Right. Well, and then there's always that thing, well, you're just getting old. Right. And I'm like, no, that isn't even kind of true, right?
I hate that.
Right.
You're never getting old. Everyone's young. The more you put movement into your body, the younger you're going to be, the more muscle you're going to gain, and the more muscle that you gain, the more free your body is going to be over time. So yeah, you're never getting old. You want to keep that young mentality.
We like to say older.
Yeah.
Right? Older.
Inevitably you're going to get older, but you can keep your body young by putting good nutrition, getting adjusted, doing physical therapy, and keeping your body as young as possible.
So what got you? How'd you get started?
So as far as chiropractic goes, so I had injuries for sports. So I was a football and basketball player as a young kid. I had pelvic unleveling. I grew 8 inches in a year. So it was a quick burst. Between 12 and 13, so then my pelvis had a lot of unleveling. That led to pain. I went to PT. It helped a lot, but when I went to a chiropractor, that's when I really gained a lot of more movement, a lot less pain. Then I started to shadow them over a few years when I was in high school, and that's when I really realized this is kind of what I want to do. I've always been more into the natural healing kind of aspect thing. As far as pain management goes. So I did that, and then I just knew I want to be a chiropractor. I went to undergrad, was an exercise science major. I did an internship for a chiropractor, and he was kind of along the same lines as my chiropractor in high school, where you can heal the body from within. So that's where I started.
Got it. But like you're saying, so you weren't even older when you were having pain. It just as our bodies are changing,
right?
When we're young.
Yeah, and that's where I like to see patients that are younger. I don't like to see 30s, 40s, 50s. It's kids that are in sports that can propel you to be a better athlete, to be a better person, or just to let the body move. And we see kids as early as a day old, but just to allow the body to function better, to move a little bit easier, can go a long way. But yeah, I think any athlete, whether it's you're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30-year-old, as a professional athlete, you can move better and the body can function better.
So do you have a favorite story or example of somebody who came to you and how it changed for them?
Yeah, so I had, and this will go to more of just not pain management wise, but I had a patient who I had seen for years. She had a baby, and then after a year, or a little bit less than that, but her baby wasn't turning over, and she couldn't figure out why. They weren't rolling over properly, and it was just more tailbone pelvis rotation that wasn't giving, that was stuck and wasn't allowing him to rotate over. And so an adjustment to the tailbone, to the low back. And she texted me the next day. She goes, "Hey, my baby rolled over to the opposite direction." So that was super cool. That it's just a quick, easy fix. It doesn't have to be this labor-intensive thing, and that they can function better.
And you just don't know. I mean, like I said, when I get adjusted, it's like an instant energy release into my head. It's like all of a sudden my brain goes clear.
And that's that huge just nerve stimulation. It doesn't even have to, you don't even, like, you could come in for low back pain, but I stimulate the nervous system in your neck, in your mid back, and you get an energy boost, and your brain starts to focus a little bit more clearly, because even if you have a pinched nerve in your neck, you don't have to feel that. And when we unlock that, and you can notice, like, oh, now I had a little bit more clarity. I can sleep better. I just feel more relaxed. So,
or I can breathe. I feel myself taking a deep breath, and I didn't realize I was breathing so shallowly.
Sure. And it takes away, like, sometimes if you have like pinched nerves that aren't giving you pain, you're in a more sympathetic state where you aren't breathing as well as you should be. So when you adjust and it takes you out of that sympathetic fight or flight state, then you can relax and breathe a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's such a different difference. So I have a story to tell you. So I told you that my grandpa was a chiropractor.
Yeah,
right? So like he graduated in 1945 and
pioneer.
He was. He really was. And it was in an era, and then where people just didn't understand.
For sure.
Would say, like, that's quackery. And it's just that. But I mean, grandpa just persevered anyway, and his patients loved him. But I know, like, we have a family member. So we were raised, I guess my point is, we were raised with chiropractic since the day we were born, like I said. So we have a family member who married into the family, didn't come from the family, who is like just turned 40 and has always had the attitude of, who needs a chiropractor? Right. Nobody needs a chiropractor, or a massage therapist, right?
They're crazy.
They're crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
So he hurt his back, right? Couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he was feeling a lot of pain, and one of our family members said, go see a chiropractor. He's like, no. And then finally it was like, okay, I'll go, because he was desperate, right? So he tried everything, nothing there. Well, so after his visit, he was like, oh my gosh, he's my new fast friend. Can we have him for dinner? Right?
That's awesome.
Because suddenly, people can get locked into this perception without having the experience.
Yeah.
Right? So do you have any kind of, how do you respond to that?
And it's very common, especially even if you've had a bad experience. Like, there's so many different chiropractic techniques that maybe, like, you don't go to a medical doctor and have a bad experience and then say, I'm never going to a medical doctor again. So having a bad experience or not being prone to trying something new when there's a bunch of different avenues that can basically help heal, can help move the body. So I just feel like everyone should be open to trying new aspects. You have no idea what can help someone or what can help the body move a little bit.
Well, no, it also, exactly. And then maybe say, like you said, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
Right? You just have nothing to lose, and you've got a lot to gain. And it's been around for a long time for a reason.
For a reason, exactly. Right? Yeah. There's even just like Chinese medicine, chiropractic, they're like, there's a million holistic ways to heal the body that have been around forever. There's a reason for that. So I always say, like, you should try everything before you do something that's permanent. So you should always try a million different avenues. There's something that's gonna work for you individually that might not be permanent. So just try something. Don't be afraid to try something.
So, Ben, I loved when you said too, you can go to a medical doctor, or you could go to a dentist, or you could go to a hairstylist, and you have a bad experience, but that doesn't keeping you from trying it again.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. It is frustrating because And I just hear that a lot. That like, oh, I went to a chiropractor and had a bad experience, so I don't want to go over again. Well, maybe they didn't have the technique that was right for you. Maybe they weren't just the right fit for you. And same thing, you could go to a million different medical doctors, dentists, like I said, whoever. You have to find the right fit for you. And,
Right.
And it's usually out there. And don't be discouraged if you don't go to one person that works for you. Maybe it's a different technique, a different style, something like that can fit
Right.
best for you.
So I think the office that you work in, Hands On Health, is amazing.
I appreciate that.
I like, I always like to say, I mean, I can walk in there feeling, happy and just really good, but I always walk out feeling better than when I walked in.
I appreciate that.
Right.
It's the greeting that we get from the front desk, from the girls that get you set up, but also I think from the doctors, given kind of what we just talked about, that there's a bunch of different techniques and styles that we do. So I want to cater it to the patient. I don't want you to feel like I'm making you do a cracking, popping, crunching adjustment. I can cater it to you. We're going to try to make you feel as best as possible, and it should be a positive experience when you walk out of the office. And you don't have to be like sandwiched into a certain technique or a certain strategy as far as how we adjust to.
And that's so true. There is not one size fits all,
Exactly.
right? It's always, because we're all different.
Right.
And I love that about your office. It's like always about the patient, the patient experience.
The patient should
Right.
come first. Everyone has a different spine. Everyone has different pain and symptoms. So you should treat everybody differently.
Yeah.
You have to figure out what works best for the patient, what works best for the doctor as far as how we're adjusting you. And then hopefully that will give you the best outcome as far as pain and symptoms and structure relief.
Structural, yeah. So, well, I love what you guys do, and I'm so glad you're here. And like I said, if I could only have one person with me on a desert island,
awesome.
it would be my chiropractor. When we moved here about 20 years ago, we didn't know anybody, and we moved from Ohio, and I really needed to be adjusted. My neck, because I sit a lot and I hunch and I do all those things in my neck, right? And my neck, and my husband was literally knocking on the doors in our neighborhood to ask if anybody knew a chiropractor.
That's how it goes sometimes.
It was before, neighborhood thing, and he literally was. And about 4 houses down, he found someone. You guys weren't here yet, but he found somebody.
There you go.
So anyways, that's.
But I had a couple new patients came in this past weekend. They were like, we've gone to a chiropractor for 30 years. Like, he retired. We need to find someone that we trust and that we love. And I hope that you can, hope that we are that person for you. I'm going to try and do everything that we can to make sure that we are. But it's tough. You know someone who knows your body and knows how you move, how your pain and symptoms are. So you just have to be a good match.
Right. And I would say that that's true for anybody, for your CPA, for your favorite clothing store, for it's it when it's right.
Exactly.
So anyways, well, you guys do an amazing job, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us on.
Enjoy the rest of the craziness, right? Yeah.